In this episode of College on Fleek, I'm going to show you an easy tool you can use to manage your day and really get stuff done and have a lot of free time. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Mary Dittman. I'm an award-winning business professor on the collegiate level and the creator of One-Derful Life and College on Fleek. In our last episode, I was talking about how important it is to make a plan and that really true success comes down to what you're doing each day. And a lot of times that's where things fall apart, and especially for busy college students. You're tired, you're doing stuff you don't want to do. I get it, okay? Nobody wants to study for a test. There's a lot of classes you don't even want to go to. You don't want to write a report. You don't want to have to read that assignment for your English class. Like, I totally understand. But unfortunately, you have to accomplish certain things in college if you want your desired outcome, which we're going to assume is graduating and hopefully with a decent GPA. So why should you care about this? Well, if you want to have what you want in life, you've got to learn to manage your own self and your own time. And we really call it time management, but I think it's self-management. It's developing the discipline that you need to see results. I have a tool that I've been teaching my students for years, and it's pretty old school, but it works. And actually, I've had students come back later and tell me that, oh yeah, I do that every day now, like even after they've been out of my class for 2 or 3 years. But what it is, it's just a grid, a timesheet grid. I created one that is Sunday through Saturday because in my mind, I like to have Sunday be the first day of the week, and that way Monday doesn't feel so painful to me. And then I have the grid set up to be 5 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Now that might not work for you. Maybe you want to do 9 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. What you do with the grid is you're going to use this grid to really see what kind of time you have available and then set yourself up for success. I had one of my students one year who was on academic probation. I teach a class for students on academic probation, and the goal is to get them off probation. And this student came off probation, and I invited him to come in and speak to my freshmen, and he told them that he continues to use this every day. And what he was doing that semester when he got off probation was every day he would fill out his grid, and then he would use his free time to study and get his homework done. Okay, now let me just explain here. He's on academic probation, okay? So he has to get his grades up. This guy literally never did any schoolwork starting on Friday night or Saturday or Sunday. He was getting all of his stuff done Monday through Friday afternoon. I was like, are you serious? He goes, oh yeah. And he said, oh, and by the way, like, I don't believe that all you should do is just study. He's like, so that included me like having time every day to play video games and hang out with my boys and shoot some hoops. I was like, are you for real? He said, yeah, I'm telling you. The timesheet is where it's at. So we're going to take a quick break, and then I'm going to come back and show you how to use the time grid. Are you struggling with low grades? If you're like most students, you just don't have the right tools in your toolbox. The truth is, nobody ever taught you how to study. I can relate. I'm Mary Dittman. When I was in high school and college, I had terrible test anxiety. There were many times where the only thing on my paper was my name, and I had legit studied. And I was in trouble, but I came up with a study method that worked for me. And when I started teaching on the college level, I found that many of my students also struggle with test anxiety. And so I started teaching the method to them as well. The Study Smart Toolkit has literally helped hundreds of students just like you over the years. In this free training, I show you step by step how to study. You have lifetime access. You can watch it anytime you want to from your phone, your tablet, your laptop, and it works for any class, any major, any school. Now, I can't make a guarantee, but I can just tell you what I've seen with my students. The students who use the techniques in the Study Smart Toolkit go from D's and F's to A's and B's on the very next test. You want better grades with less time studying, go to bit.ly/Study Smart Toolkit and get the College on Fleek Study Smart Toolkit for yourself. All right, welcome back. Now, I will share this grid with you at any point. If you ever want this, you just shoot me an email and we'll be happy to send this to you. But you don't need me to send it to you. You can also create one for yourself. Create your grid on the computer and print it out, but I'm going to recommend that you use hard copies. And that allows you to go through and change things. What you're going to do is you write down what are your known appointments for the week. So that's going to be things like your classes. If you're an athlete and you have practice every week at a certain time, that goes on here. If you know your work schedule, that goes on here. If you're in a student organization and you know you have a meeting every Sunday night at 7, that goes on here. So everything that's known. And then as you're looking at your week coming up, you might say, oh yeah, plus I have a doctor's appointment Wednesday afternoon, or oh, it's my grandma's birthday, so we're all getting together for dinner on Saturday. Anything that you know that's a set appointment time, you put it on here. That also includes, maybe there's a TV show that's really important to you that you want to watch when it comes on, and that's super important. Put that on here. One of the things on my grid every week is my yoga classes. That really matters to me. Then what will happen is you'll see where you're going to have pretty decent chunks of time. And I've had students that because of their school schedule and their work schedule, they see like, I don't have a lot of time. And that helps them understand I better use what time I have pretty wisely. Now, yeah, a lot of students end up going back to their room and they take a nap, or they start watching Netflix, or they're on Snapchat or Instagram. And I'm just going to tell you, that's how you're burning up time. That's how you're losing focus and you're not getting things done. But when you see those chunks of time, so my student that I just told you about, one of the ways he was getting this stuff done was I required them to have appointments at the tutoring center. Well, he went ahead and scheduled, he looked at his grid and he said, well, it looks like every Tuesday at 2 o'clock I'm free. So he went to the tutoring center and he said, I need to schedule an appointment every Tuesday at 2 o'clock. And what he would do is he would go to the tutoring center, and he said that was where he did the stuff he didn't want to do. And it was accountability for him. And usually for him, he said it was his math homework. It was his least favorite. So he would always go on Tuesday to the tutoring center. He would sit there, do his homework. The tutor was there if he needed it. And if not, he would just say to the tutor, hey, I think I understand this. Is it okay if I just sit here and do my homework and then maybe you could check it later? Well, let me tell you something. The tutor loved it. That was probably her easiest appointment all day long. Like, sure, I don't care. I'll check your homework. But then if he worked through the homework and there was something he didn't understand, she was there, probably on her phone on Instagram or something. I mean, who cares? But he did that, and he would go to the tutoring center on campus and he would go to the writing center. He did those things every week. He used those blocks of time to get his stuff done. And he told me, he said, I know I want to play basketball with my guys at 5 p.m. every day. He'd put that on his grid. And he was funny. He said, well, I scheduled in my me time too. I was like, really? He said, oh yeah, like I know I'm going to want to play video games for an hour. And he said, I would go ahead and schedule that on there. Because then you don't feel like you're being deprived. Like, well, I can't play video games because I have to do my homework. No, he would say, I'm going to play my video games at 3 o'clock. And then I'm going to do my work from 4 until 5, and I'm taking a break at 5 and go play hoops with my friends. But a lot of times what happens with students is either they feel like they don't have any time, or they have so much time. That really hangs them up. So they think I have the whole day to get stuff done, so I'll do that assignment, later this afternoon, and then they turn on the TV or they get into the video game. And before they know it, it's 10 p.m. and they haven't done anything. So I'm just telling you, the time grid is useful. Now, I say do it on a sheet of paper, a hard copy, because then you can erase. I do mine in pencil every week. And I go through and I see where are my chunks of time? What are the things I'm going to put in there? Then what I'll do is I'll take a picture of it with my phone so that I have it with me all the time. And I loved his point about having me time, and that's really important in college. Many times your family and friends are going to tell you all you should be doing is going to school and studying and maybe going to work, and I disagree with that. You need to be a well-rounded person. You need to be having fun, you need friends, and it's about having balance. Well, the best way to have balance is to have a plan for your day and to have a schedule where you've made time for all of these different things. College on Fleek is a dialogue, not a monologue, and we want to hear from you. Are you going to schedule out your time? Put that in the comments and let us know. Remember, you can always connect with us at collegeonfleek.com. We have a lot of great merchandise there for you and free resources. You can also get your Study Smart Toolkit there, or you can go to bit.ly/Study Smart Toolkit. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on College on Fleek.